You have to be a bitch. You have to state your standards right then and there. What can you do for me? Okay, so I came to the realization about something really profound on the level of journey that kind of like opened my eyes. And, you know, when we're dating and we're out here and, you know, we're being taken out on dates or being called or being texted, I was under the impression that as long as you set boundaries around what it takes to have sex with you, that was like the end all be all to your value. Because sex is all everybody talks about. It's all what's portrayed. Everybody says don't sleep with him, don't have sex too soon, you know, wait until this, wait until that. They all talk about things surrounding sex. Now, we know sex is a very powerful thing, you know, and that's all people talk about. But I was mistaken, because it's not the sex that it's all about when it comes to man-woman relationships. It's about access to you. And, you know, I thought that everything was about sex. I thought like the guys only after sex. That's all everyone talks about. It's all everyone brings up. It's all everyone pressures you for. It's all they say not to do. We're like bombarded with those 3-letter words. But surprisingly to me, I learned that the real value is your feminine energy, which is you as a woman. It's access to you. It's when you talk to him on the phone. It's when you reply to the text. That all gives the man, the guy, the boy, whoever you're messing with, the ego boost. Not the sex. It's access to you. It's talking to you. It's him looking at you. It's him. It's you responding to him. It's him getting your attention. That is your currency. That is your value, your attention. So that's how valuable you are as a woman. It's not about getting sex from you. It's how easy they can get your attention. Just your attention. Could you imagine that? Your attention. Wow. Wow, this really shows us our value, because our attention is worth so much currency. Our attention makes them feel like king of the world. Our attention makes them, you know, pop up and be like, oh, look, I got this girl to text me. I got this girl to call me. I got this girl to send me this and me that. And I thought it was all about sex. And that's not true. And so, you know, a lot of people make it all about sex because that's maybe all that they, I don't know, that's just maybe like a low level thinking. Because honestly, people know how, like, people know women's value so much that they automatically think that you would never like put sex on the forefront, even if they pressure you to do it, even if they want you to do it. That's how valuable you are, because they want to take the time to see what comes out of your mouth, to see how much you'll engage with them, to see how many dates you'll go out with them, to see how often you give your attention, your currency. And so I was under the silly impression that, oh, as long as I, you know, put boundaries up around sex, you know, we can still like go out on dates, and we can still talk on the phone, and we can still text as much as we want. But that's not true, because the more attention you give, you know, the more bored they'll give you. They'll say, oh, this girl's not a challenge. They'll take your energy and give it to the next chick. And that happens a lot to me up until now, because I know now. I know that, you know, when a guy texts me, I text him back. When he texts me, I text him back. Text me, I text him back. He's bored of me already, because he got all of this ego boost from me. And he's like, oh, wow, I thought this girl was great. But look, she's giving her energy so easily. She's not ignoring me. She's not busy with her life. It seems that way to him. She's not busy with her life. She's not like turning me down on dates. Like, oh my God, this is so boring. And then he's going to take all that energy boost he got from me responding to him and go give it to the next chick to look for another challenge. And so I was like, oh, wow, like this is so interesting. And it's interesting because, you know, us as women, we have to be like the gatekeeper of ourselves. You know, a long time ago, we used to have parents who did this, who told guys, you can't even talk to her unless you provide this, this, and that. But nowadays, we have to be the ones to gatekeep ourselves. We have to be the ones to be like, I'm too busy for you. Why should I talk to you? What are you going to give me for my time? Because our youth and our beauty and our currency and our energy is fading away every single day. Today, we are the most beautifulest women we will ever be. And giving that currency away to men, they'll just use it on up, especially if they're not providing, especially if they're not that into you, especially if they're like super masculine, looking for a challenge and wants like someone really hard to get, which most men do if they're not like, you know, low level men. Then they're going to want someone like that. Or they're going to just use up your currency just to give it to another chick. And then they're going to walk around with like your energy, thinking that, you know, they're hot stuff when they're really not. So I don't want this to happen to other women out there, because this has happened to me often. And I notice this from every male in my life. You know, if you come from a family full of Dusties and Pikmishkas, you can see this in your own family from the way the men act when you're around. Or they'll always, if you have like a Dusty, you know, family member who doesn't really help you out or much, they'll always try to like siphon energy from you in some sort of way. And so it's unfortunate, you know, that for a lot of us, it starts in the household. And if you haven't really been taught this stuff about, you know, all of the energetics and the play-ons with men and women, then, you know, you kind of learn as you go. And so I'm so glad that I've came to the profound realization of how valuable I am. Not only when it comes to what's in between my legs, my kitty cat, everything, you know, that everybody talks about, P-power, all of this stuff. It's not even about the P-power. It's about your existence. Can you believe that? Your existence. Your existence. It is about, you know, who are you being seen out in public with? Do you know how much men get an ego boost from that? That's like worth more than money to them. Who are they taking out on a date? Who do they get to be seen out in public with? Who do they get to text back on their phone to brag to their friends? Who pictures do they get to go around and lie and say that they had sex with this woman, had sex with that woman? That's why we have to gatekeep ourselves to the best of our abilities. Gatekeep how much you text back, how much of your energy you're expending, the compliments you're giving to men. You have to gatekeep all of that, because nobody's going to do it for you. And, you know, if they see you as somebody who gives away yourself easily, even if you're responding to a text, even if you're responding to a call, then they're just going to take. And you have to be the one to be like, no, I'm too busy for that. What are you offering me? I'm not doing this until you do that. And don't engage into them. Don't engage your energy with them until they show, until they provide something of value. Because otherwise they're siphoning your beauty, your youth. I call it eating your face off. I call it eating your face off. This happens in the workplace. So being a beautiful woman is very dangerous in the world, because like you are a natural resource. You're like a natural oasis of water that everybody wants to drink of, feed off of, take from. They want to, you know, like if you're in the workplace and everybody's watching, everybody's around each other, they want to put you down to be like, oh, look, I put this girl down, and everyone knows and sees how valuable she is. She's the prettiest one in the room. She's the classiest in the room. She's like the most, you know, humble in the room, whatever. But everybody is like that to beautiful women. That's just the way it is. Unless you're a beautiful woman, or unless you're a confident person who has worked on themselves to have their own confidence. But still, everybody wants something from a beautiful woman. That's just the way it is. And I call it eating your face off, because when you're in the workplace and if like another woman gives you a dirty look, I call that like eating your face off, because they're trying to take something away from you. And if a man is like, you know, trying to get you to give without giving, I call it eating your face off, because he's taking away your youth, your energy right then and there. Beautiful women need to be constantly poured into. It's all about energy. They need to be constantly poured into to keep their beauty and their value up. Otherwise, they're around like energy vampires and people who are siphoning their energy. And I call it eating your face off, because you will get uglier if you allow this to happen. You will get less beautiful. You will feel more tired. You will feel more drained. So a part of being a beautiful woman is ignoring people. That is a big thing. You have to ignore people. I ignore people all the time. If I don't like somebody, I will ignore them. Sure, I'll entertain that girl who I have nothing in common with. Sure, I'll entertain that girl who I have nothing in common with in the workplace while I'm there sometimes. But once I'm gone, I'm not going to continue talking to her. We live in two different worlds. Especially if she's not returning the same energy. Especially if I don't see her going to the same places. Well, why would I entertain that? And especially just dating, you need to not always answer the text. You need to not always answer the call, because then they won't value you. And this has happened to me. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? First this guy was here, now he's gone. Just from, a couple of days of talking. It's because you were giving away your energy too much. It's hard for us to see our value because we can't see ourselves. We can't see outside of ourselves. You go to a car lot and everybody knows the Porsches are beautiful and valuable, but the car itself doesn't know it's valuable. The car just knows it's a damn car and it's going to be bought and sold and driven. But now that we're in the age of information, thank God that other women are sharing their experiences, and I'm talking about my experiences. It really opens my eyes to how valuable us women are and how much we must protect ourselves and keep our walls up. So it's hard. It's really hard, especially, if you're like a lover girl. If you're a lover girl, you need to be surrounded by a lot of good friends, and you need to be surrounded by, a mate who can protect you from, stand up for you around your dusty family. If you have a dusty family, stand up for you around, whoever's trying to take advantage of you or siphon your energy. Or you're constantly going to live a life of a battlefield, which is what a lot of single, beautiful women do. You got to protect yourself. Everybody's going to be trying to siphon your energy. They're going to be trying to size you up 24/7, especially, if you're that chick and you outshining everybody by just showing up and opening your mouth. They're going to try to siphon you. Unless, you're in a genuine, good environment. I don't know how rare that is. But you have to be out here. Like, I'm naturally, laid back, quiet, shy. People say humble, but I just don't feel the need to speak unnecessarily. But I've realized as a single woman, I have to brag on myself. I have to talk myself up. I have to talk about what I would never do. I have to talk about what I would do. I have to speak my standards over and over and over and over. This deters energy vampires away from you. You have to be like, oh my God, I would never go 50-50. You have to say that. You have to pop your shit. I did not know that. I thought it was okay just to show up and embody the energy of who you are, and people will respond to that. But the world is so savage today, and everybody's out to grab what they want, that you have to be more aggressive out here. Even if you are soft-spoken, even if you are feminine, you have to be more aggressive. State your standards. State what you will not do. Call people out. Say what you want. Don't hold back. You have to be this way to get respect in this world. And it's funny because I talked to some older women. They say back in their day, they didn't have these many players, or it wasn't as this savage as it is today. Oh well, it is what it is. And we have to be more aggressive, and it sucks because this is not within my true nature to be this way. But if I have to do this in order to get respect out into this world, then I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it more bigger, bolder, badder than anyone, if that's what it takes to get my respect, since, I am in the situation I am. So yes, ladies, gatekeep yourself. You need to stop putting yourself in this mindset of, you not being the end all be all, you not being the one that everyone's after. You can't be after anybody but yourself in this world. Otherwise, you'll get taken advantage of. You'll get chewed up and spit out. You'll get guys siphoning your energy, coming to you, talking to you for 10 seconds, and then go and give your energy to some other chick. You have to be a bitch. You have to state your standards right then and there. What can you do for me? You have to be this way. This is the only way that you will get what you want today. This is the only way not to get ghosted. You have to be challenging in every single way. It needs to be a challenge to get a text back from you. It needs to be challenging to get you on the phone. It needs to be challenging to get you on a date. What do you want on your first date? Do you want roses? Okay, if you don't have those roses, you go in the bathroom, excuse yourself, call your Uber, and go home. Okay? You have to be like this today, because there are more narcissists in the world today than genuine, kind, normal people. And, you know, us normal, kind people have to, like, you know, we have to catch up. We have to be bolder. We have to be louder. Because, you know, just being like your natural kind self, your natural princess energy, is just not going to cut it today. Yes, ladies, so that's what it's all about. The moment the guy, the man, the boy, whoever you're talking to gets access to you, the whole game is about observing your actions to find out what is your value and how he should treat you. So they say you teach people to treat you how you treat yourself. I feel like this phrase is bullshit. I think this is bullshit because I treat myself like a queen. I work out, I eat healthy, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. Like anything that is pertaining to self-love, I give that to myself. I give myself money, I provide for myself. I speak words of kindness, love, wisdom to myself. I nourish my body, I nourish my soul, I nourish my spirituality. You can do all of that, and you can do all of that in front of somebody. That doesn't mean they're gonna treat you like that. That's not how it works out here. How it works is they value by how much access you give them. So I don't think the phrase you teach people how to treat you makes sense. Because people can see you treating yourself amazingly and they'll have the audacity to try to tear you down out of envy. So that doesn't make sense. I think that's one of those cliche phrases that don't even make sense. These guys are trying to figure out what box to place you in, depending on how accessible you are, how available you are. And that's all about the beginning stages of the dating. And you have to be a challenge. The only way they'll value you is if you're a challenge. So later on they can talk about, oh my God, you know, she was so challenging to get, I had to do this, and that, you know, I really had to step up and be this person, that person. So that's how it is. I don't know why people say the whole thing about you teach people how to treat you, because I treat myself with the utmost respect 24/7, 24 hours a day. And just because somebody witnesses that doesn't mean they're going to treat you amazingly. They're going to treat you depending on how accessible you are and how much you stand up to them, how much you set those boundaries. They're going to try you whether you treat yourself like a queen or not. Let me know what you think.